Natalia Romanova, Earth 616. Natalia Alyanovna Romanova, English, Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, was a former Russian KGB agent. She was trained by the Red Room as part of the Black Widow Ops program to be the ultimate super spy. She defected to the United States of America from the Soviet Union to join S.H.I.E.L.D. Later, Black Widow would then become a member of the Avengers and has been on the team on multiple occasions. She is a woman with a mysterious past which few know about. Early years. The exact year and location for the birth of Natasha Romanova is unknown, as is who her parents were. It has been rumored that Natasha was somehow related to the last ruling czars of Russia, but this rumor was never proven. Raised by a foster father. There are varying accounts of Romanova's early life. One account states that in 1928, there was a fire in Stalingrad which burned down the building that infant Natasha and her mother were living in. According to the account, just before dying in the fire, Natasha's mother threw her out the window to a Russian soldier below. The soldier's name was Ivan Petrovich, and that he watched over Natasha for her entire life, remaining by her side as her foster father. Another account dates the fire to autumn 1942, during the Battle of Stalingrad. While Natasha was under Ivan's protection, Baron von Strucker abducted Natasha and presented her to the organization of assassins called the Hand in Madripoor. Natasha had in fact been working under orders from a mysterious source, and her abduction was to lead her into pretending to become a master assassin for the Hand when in reality she was to assassinate their Jonin. Logan learned of this and killed the Jonin instead, while also freeing Captain America under the guise of rescuing Natasha. According to this account, Natasha then grew and matured, proving herself to be an amazing athlete and scholar, while gaining distinction in the USSR as a ballerina. Red Room. Another account establishes Natasha as being raised from very early childhood by the USSR's Black Widow Ops program in addition to Ivan Petrovich's care. Petrovich was said to have taken her to Department X, with 28 other young female orphans, where she was trained in combat and espionage at the covert Red Room facility. There, she was biotechnologically and psychotechnologically enhanced, an account that provides a rationale for her unusually long and youthful lifespan. In this account, she never really trained in ballet in the Bolshoi Theater, having instead been implanted with artificial memories of doing so. Regardless of which account is accurate, eventually, it was arranged for Natasha to marry Alexei Shostakov, a distinguished Soviet test pilot. She was later blackmailed into agreeing to act as a spy when her husband's life was threatened. KGB. The Soviet government intelligence, KGB, decided that Natasha and Alexei's skill sets would make them superb special operatives and split them up while Alexei was away on a mission. Trained as the Red Guardian, Alexei became the Soviet Union's answer to the United States Captain America. Natasha was told that her husband died in an experimental rocket crash. She was drafted into the KGB and became their best operative, becoming excellent at fighting and information gathering. During this time, she had some training under the Winter Soldier and they started a secret relationship. After an incident during an assassination operation, Barnes was deemed unstable and put in cryostasis whenever he wasn't needed for a mission, leaving Natasha devastated when she found out. Natasha later saved Logan from Hydra assassins when he surfaced in America without any memories of his past. She encountered the man again sometime later when she was on a KGB mission to stop 3 unknown American spies, Logan, Carol Danvers, and Ben Grimm, from stealing Russia's Red Storm project. Early clashes with Iron Man. Black Widow was assigned to assist Boris Turgenev in the assassination of Professor Anton Vanko for defecting from their country by infiltrating Stark Industries in America. Tony Stark, the original Iron Man, continually foiled her schemes against Stark Industries. Romanova later met the novice archer Hawkeye and set him against Iron Man, and later helped Hawkeye battle Iron Man. Unfortunately, Hawkeye's association with Russian spies would label him a criminal in his early career. Black Widow and Hawkeye next clashed against the novice superhero Spider-Man. They resumed their focus on Tony Stark, clashing with Iron Man twice more, the first being an attempt to raid Tony Stark's munitions plant. When that mission ended in failure, she was taken back to Russia by her masters and given a new costume that allowed her to scale walls as well as a device that allowed her to fire lines to swing from. She once more attempted to get Hawkeye to help her destroy Iron Man. The pair almost succeeded, but when Black Widow was injured, Hawkeye retreated to get her to safety. During this period, Romanova was attempting to defect from the Soviet Union and began to feel love toward Hawkeye, weakening her loyalty to her country. When her employers learned the truth, they had her gunned down, sending her to a hospital, convincing Hawkeye to go straight and seek membership in the Avengers. Association with the Avengers. Captured by her masters again and brainwashed, Black Widow was forced to hire the Swordsman and Power Man to destroy the Avengers. This plot eventually failed when the Avengers defeated both of the villains and Natasha shook off the effects of the brainwashing. Attempting to make amends with the group, she assisted them against the racist group known as the Sons of the Serpent. Having been granted amnesty, Natasha made a bid for membership in the Avengers, aiding them in their battle against the Ultroids. She threatened to kill their leader Ixar if he did not leave the Earth, winning the victory. However, Hawkeye covered up this fact so that she could get membership in the group even though she violated their code of ethics regarding killing. However, when Nick Fury hired her to spy on her former master on behalf of S.H.I.E.L.D., she was forced to decline membership with the Avengers and publicly broke off her relationship with Hawkeye. As part of her mission, the press branded her as a traitor, breaking Hawkeye's heart. Arriving in China, the Black Widow was not easily trusted and subjected to the Psychotron device, a machine that could brainwash anyone. She proved to be too strong-willed and had to be gassed and kept locked up. Learning that Natasha was now a prisoner of her former communist masters, the Avengers traveled to China to rescue her, clashing with the Red Guardian, Natasha's ex-husband who was thought to be dead. The Avengers with the help of Natasha defeated the communists' plot to use the Psychotron against the Western world. During the course of the battle, Natasha was injured and the Red Guardian seemingly perished in the battle. After time recovering in the hospital, Natasha returned to Avengers Mansion and came to the decision to give up her career of costumed adventuring. However, this proved to be short-lived as she returned to superheroics shortly thereafter. However, her romance with Hawkeye became strained as he was usually too busy with Avengers business to pay attention to her. Fed up with staying out of action, Black Widow accepted another assignment from S.H.I.E.L.D. to prevent Egghead from using an orbital platform to hold the world ransom. She was captured, prompting Hawkeye, who still loved her, to use Henry Pym's growth formula to become the new Goliath and rescue her. She aided the Avengers in stopping Egghead, although it ended in the seeming death of Egghead and Goliath's brother Barney. After a prolonged absence, the Black Widow eventually ended her relationship with Goliath. Going solo. Natasha was not able to avoid superheroics for long and, after designing a new sleek black costume and adapting her bracelets with electric Widow's bites, she sought to prove herself a capable adventurer by besting Spider-Man in battle. Although Spider-Man was ill and not at his full capacity at the time, he was still able to beat the Widow. However, she resolved to continue her career as a costumed adventurer. She mostly clashed with underworld figures and costumed villains during this period, notably the Astrologer and Watchlord. Partners with Daredevil. The Black Widow soon became a pawn manipulated by the computer known as Baal from the distant future Earth 71778. In that reality, mankind was wiped out and the past history of Daredevil and Black Widow played a crucial role. This ultimately led to a long relationship and partnership between the two heroes, but it eventually came to an end. Nancy Rushman. While working with S.H.I.E.L.D., Black Widow was briefly captured as part of a Hydra plot to infiltrate and brainwash the organization, causing her to regress to an old cover identity of teacher Nancy Rushman. Fortunately, she was discovered and rescued by Spider-Man, subsequently working with him, Nick Fury, and Shang-Chi to defeat their plan. She even admitted that the Nancy identity was attracted to Spider-Man after the crisis was over, even if she preferred to retain her independence. Champions of Los Angeles. She co-founded the Champions of Los Angeles after they had successfully foiled a plot by Pluto to invade Olympus. The team soon disbanded due to bankruptcy, and Natasha attempted a partnership with Hercules without success. Solo again. After these two failures, Natasha decided to stay on her own and freelance as an agent for a while. It was during this time that an enemy from her time alongside Daredevil kidnapped Ivan to lure her to her death. Damon Dran planned to bring Natasha to his island so a small army of female combat specialists could destroy her. Once she was out of the way, he would send a fake Black Widow back to S.H.I.E.L.D. to assassinate Nick Fury. Unfortunately for Dran, Natasha defeated the army, saved Ivan, and notified Fury, who in turn bombed Dran's island. On a freelance mission, the Black Widow attempted to prevent the Hand from stealing the long-dead body of their master warrior, Kirigi. Utilizing deadly poisons, Natasha was killed by the Hand. She was revived by Stone of the Chaste and joined forces with Stone and Daredevil to stop the Hand from reviving Elektra. Natasha knew that they failed in this endeavor but kept the information from Matt for his well-being. On a mission, Natasha found her husband Alexei Shostakov alive. Little did she know that it was only a life model decoy created by Russian agents to blackmail her back into service of Mother Russia. Once she finished the tasks they gave her, the Russians told her the truth and attempted to kill her. With Ivan's assistance, she defeated the Russians and destroyed the LMD. Iron Man teamed up with Black Widow to prevent an agent named October from attempting to start World War III by launching missiles. The missiles were launched, but Iron Man kept them from detonating. October ended up actually being Natasha under some old KGB reprogramming that had been dormant in her mind. Together, they captured the agent responsible. Avenger. In time, Black Widow came back to the Avengers and became a co-leader, managing ops at home base while Black Knight lead in the field. When the majority of the Avengers were killed during the Onslaught saga, Black Widow attempted to form a new lineup alongside Hercules and Quicksilver. However, Widow's initial attempt to recruit her old teammates from the Champions met with failure, as both Iceman and Angel were too busy with the X-Men to join the Avengers, with Iceman also believing that the public blamed the X-Men for the death of the Avengers in the first place, which would bring Widow's new lineup negative publicity if he or Angel were involved. Her subsequent prospects fared no better, with Beast, Ant-Man, She-Hulk, Moondragon and War Machine all either turning her down or having unreasonable demands, with Moondragon in particular wishing to become the new leader of the team. The situation only got worse when Quicksilver angrily resigned over a proposed UN resolution that would collectively blame the entire mutant race for Onslaught's actions. When two congressmen filed a motion to nullify the government's agreements with the team, Natasha ultimately decided to disband the Avengers and turn the mansion over to S.H.I.E.L.D's supervision. She always felt as if the Avengers' dissolution was solely her fault. The Black Widow then vowed to apprehend all of the Avengers' former foes and ran into Daredevil while hunting the Grey Gargoyle. Matt feared for her mental state as he noticed how obsessive she became about bringing the gargoyle down. As he attempted to help her, his girlfriend, Karen Page, became increasingly more angry and jealous. Natasha acknowledged Matt's love for Karen and left them to be together. Later, Natasha would even offer to help Karen clear her name from a murder Mr. Fear framed her for. Once the Avengers who were thought killed returned, Natasha was more relieved, but decided to work with S.H.I.E.L.D. instead, assisting them in destroying Freedom Light by pretending to be Ebon Flame. Personality. Natasha is a professional and sly agent who will get any job done regardless of the difficulty. She went from being one of the best operatives in S.H.I.E.L.D. to a superhero. She held her own as a part of the Avengers for years, even leading them for a time. However, she doesn't belong with the superhero set due to her helping with S.H.I.E.L.D. Nevertheless, she will keep her word by being behind the scenes or assist the Avengers if needed. Despite Natasha being a superhero, she will always resume her mission to be a spy. Nick Fury commented on Natasha that running in the shadows is what she was born to do. Attributes. Powers. Artificially enhanced physiology. Natasha was biochemically enhanced through the Black Widow Ops program when she was an infant. She received the Red Room's version of the Super Soldier Serum that was created by Dr. Ludmilla Kudrin to enhance her immune system, bodily condition, and longevity. Nick Fury's intel classified her as Power Level 7. Peak human strength. Natasha's physical strength is enhanced, enabling her to consistently overhead press 500 pounds, 226 kilograms. Athletic speed. Natasha's speed is that of an Olympic athlete, enabling her to run at speeds of 32 to 36 miles per hour. Enhanced durability. Natasha's body is enhanced to withstand greater physical injuries than normal humans. She has also withstood blows from superhumans like Imus Champion, explosions, and managed to continue fighting after being shot. Athletic reflexes. Natasha's reflexes are similar to those of an athlete. Athletic stamina. Natasha's stamina is similar to that of an athlete. Peak human healing. Dr. Kudrin theoretically stated Natasha's wounds heal 5 times faster than average human rate. Enhanced immune system. The Black Widow has been enhanced by biotechnology that has slowed her aging and augmented her immune system. Enhanced longevity. The serum extends Natasha's lifespan and youth, resulting in her maintaining the appearance of a woman in her 30s despite being born in 1928. Peak human endurance. Natasha exhibits extraordinary levels to physical pain. She once resumed functioning in spite of her undergoing unbearable surgery without anesthesia. Abilities. Master martial artist. Natasha has mastered many fields of hand-to-hand combat including Aikido, Judo, Karate, Savate, boxing, and various other martial arts. She fought Wolverine during her training in the Red Room Academy. She was able to hold her own against other dangerous opponents like Winter Soldier, Elektra, and Punisher. Master acrobat. Natasha is an extraordinary skilled gymnast, acrobat, and aerialist. Master Assassin, Natasha is heavily skilled in assassination techniques. She uses her skills as a martial artist, acrobat, and spy to further enhance her skills as an assassin. She has been sent by S.H.I.E.L.D. and the KGB to eliminate numerous enemies. Weapons expert, Natasha is an expert with most weapons. Expert vehicular driver, Natasha is an expert at operating most vehicles. Disguises expert, Natasha is an expert with disguises. Multilingual, Natasha is fluent in Russian, English, French, German, Chinese, Japanese, and various other languages. Learned intelligence, Natasha possesses the ability to quickly process multiple information streams, such as threat assessment, and rapidly respond to changing tactical situations. Graceful dancer, Natasha is a profound ballet dancer. Talented hacker, Natasha can hack into all computer systems without tripping any firewalls or security with ease. Master seductress, she is an expert in the field of seduction. Natasha has been infamously known to bend many different men to her will and sometimes even get them to do her bidding for her. She sometimes continues deceiving certain men through means of acting if she still has a further use for them. Master spy, Natasha is a dangerous secret agent trained in espionage, stealth, disguise, infiltration, and demolitions. She is capable of killing in cold blood when the need arises. Her talents and years of experience have enabled her to reach a high-ranking position as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Weaknesses. Infertility. While not an encumbrance to her performance, the serum and biological modifications made to Natasha's physiology, granting her impressive resilience, the effects of a highly efficient immune system inhibit her reproductive capabilities, rendering pregnancy impossible. Paraphernalia. Equipment. Costume specifications, synthetic stretch fabric which has been augmented to be highly resistant to damage, even small arms fire and high temperatures. Microscopic suction cups on her costume allow her to scale walls and cling to ceilings, just as her namesake. Weapons. Black Widow's gauntlets. The Black Widow's gauntlets are wrist cartridges containing various tools of the spy trade, tear gas pellets, a radio transmitter, and fire a 100-foot spring-loaded cable. The gauntlets also include a Widow's Bite, which is capable of stunning an opponent and emitting highly potent electric shocks with a maximum of about 30,000 volts at the range of at least 20 feet. The functions of the gauntlet are activated via sensors keyed to her wrist musculature. Belt. Natasha has often won a belt of metal discs or cartridges that contains a plastic explosive, equivalent to 4 pounds of TNT. Transportation. Natasha uses her Widow's line, a grappling hook with a retractable line, to swing along rooftops for increased mobility. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.